Okay, let me slide this up here so it's a little bit easier. All right, so what this is basically is at this point, you have paid your subscription fee, you've downloaded the app, now you're going to select the app, or you're going to, I'm going to walk you through on like options that you can do and how it's how to enter data. It's very, very simple. So this is just kind of a screenshot of me walking through. Okay, so the first thing here is, and pause this here, is you enter your dog's name. Okay, so you got your dog's name, you enter your dog's name, enter the age. You can even select a personal picture of your dog. And this is basically from the add your dog screen. Okay, then you put your handler name in. So you can type in the dog's name, age, just done off yours. And you can either pick one of the icons there, or you can go through and select a dog from your pictures that you have. So maybe make a new little picture of your dog and have it there. All right, handler's name goes in that spot. And there we go. All right, then submit. So now you've added your dog. Once you click submit, you've added your dog. Then you're going to go and select your dog to enter data for training. Okay, let me pause here again. So back up just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do some data entries for training. So dog's been added, successful. Okay, pick your dog. This is where you pick your dog from. I have a whole bunch of dogs in here just because we're using them for testing, but it'll be an icon of your dog, and you select it from there. Obviously, some people are going to have multiple dogs. Okay, select training. So this is the date that you did training on. So when you select training date, that's going to be the date that you did the training. Then you can select the venue and you can select the weather. That's something that in the next version we're going to clean up in reference to options on weather, how much, like how specific you can get. Right now, I just have some generic stuff in there. So selecting the date, training I did on the 14th, gonna select what the venue was. So this select the venue. I select the vehicles in this scenario. Then you can pick something, the weather as close as you get. Okay. Then when you do time started, this is the time you started the training, started running the problem, and the time you finish the problem. What this will do is this will give you a good estimation of how long your search times are. And you'll see some feel how to enter different ways of entering data for that. You can either move the dial or you can actually touch inside if you touch inside the little block right there, and then you can use the keyboard to enter data. Set time, this is, oh, I'm sorry, back up there. That was still doing the amount of, for training time. Set time, that's in minutes. That's how long you had the problem set before you started running the first dog. Number of hides. Okay, so here's where you start adding like specific data about that training section. Number of hides, and then so it says select. So number of hides, you just up or down, how many you want. Select odor, select vessels, height, depth. Height we normally use from the ground up, and depth we use from the outer surface in. Okay. Then you're going to have an option for selecting response type, and then you have an option for putting remarks in. If you have more than one hide, the data you enter now is going to be about the first hide. Once you've completed that, then there'll be a screen that comes up to allow you to add for the next one. So I'm going to hit play here so you can see how it goes through. What vessel you used. All right, so response types. Let me back up just a little bit. I'll pause there when you have response. So you have Positive, negative, or assist. Okay, positive, the dog found it on his own without any assistance from you. Negative, the dog missed it. In other words, the dog didn't solve that scenario or solve that problem. So for that particular hide. And assist would be if you had to do something with your body, leash, or whatever to help the dog solve the problem. That's also very good about tracking information. Very, very critical. Sometimes there's going to be scenarios set up where that's a little bit of a struggle, or your dog's struggling, and you have to do something, either change the environment or use your leash, voice, or whatever to help them. Anyhow, that would be an option when you select assist. Then you can write in what you want. This is all saved. I also in the future, I think you could put in. I'm trying to find a put in the. There's going to be some changes come in the future with that, or there's other options. So was it accessible hide or inaccessible hide? All right, so that was data. So after you enter that, it's going to be the little green pop up there. Hide one data added now to data. So now what you're completing or putting in is information about hide number 2. So still you have the same options. Obviously the height is probably different than the last one. Depth probably different than the last one. Uh, Positive or negative, you can change that. And accessible, then you hit completed. And then that takes you to where the data has been entered. The next step is that you can look at training records or training entries, and you can be able to look at reports or pull reports. And I'll do another little video explaining about how you can run reports and so forth. So hopefully that gives you a good little idea on how that works, on how you can add data, add your dog, and also add training entries. And you can do a training entry for every single problem you run. And it just keeps it's infinite of how many you can do.